What's going on, everyone? It's Brent with the FSA podcast, where we teach online health coaches how to sell at a higher rate and scale their businesses with more profit. All right, guys, what sucks the most about being a coach? If I had one guess, I would say cancellations, chargebacks. Those are not fun, disputes. So I want to walk you guys through the 3 steps that I take and I teach all of our clients to take to disarm prospects and to handle the cancellation requests and hopefully retain them as a client long term. But before we dive into that, go ahead, if you have not, like, share, subscribe this video, this YouTube channel with a friend. Every single week I'm coming on here, I'm dropping a ton of free business coaching for online fit pros looking to scale their business, looking to improve their sales, looking to systemize and automate and put things in place in their business that allow them more time and freedom in their lives. Our big concept that I preach is our sustainable growth model, creating a business that is conducive to the lifestyle that you want to live. Okay. So not sacrificing a lifestyle to create a business, but instead creating a business that fits within your lifestyle or helps you create a certain type of lifestyle that you're happy with, that allows you to, put money away, save up for future investments, retirement, but also to enjoy the now. And, put you in a position where you're not always looking at price tags or not always questioning if you can afford, dinner or shopping or going and doing the things that you like to do. It just puts you in a position where you're saving for the future and you're also living in the present and you're not stressing about money, time, or, the stress of just managing business that can produce sustainable income. So that's what we do. In essence, that's the sustainable growth model, creating a business that allows you to live a lifestyle that you want to live. And that's how we help our clients. Is the very first thing that we do is we hop on a one-to-one call. You and I, we break down all the finances and we build out every single tiny little step to get you to that exact lifestyle. We just reverse engineer the entire thing, move the numbers around, play around with your income statement, and put you in a position to be able to live whatever lifestyle it is, whether it's retiring up away in the mountains, living on a beach somewhere, going to Thailand, Dubai, anything you want to do. Okay. We just have to work the numbers and reverse engineer to a way that, helps us build out the plan for you to do that. So that is a long-winded way of saying that I drop a lot of free advice. So if you haven't, like, share, subscribe with a friend, growing this YouTube channel and sharing all these wonderful things that I've learned and picked up over the years with you guys has become a real passion and something that I truly enjoy. I truly enjoy hopping on and, recording these podcasts. The feedback has been absolutely amazing. So again, I appreciate all of you for listening. Let's hop in. Cancellations suck, dude. They suck. And they suck because usually they can be avoided. And a lot of times it's just like a miscommunication where it's like, they're feeling off or they aren't totally in alignment with the program. And it's usually just a small miscommunication. But after a lot of research, talking with clients, gathering some information, what it comes down to are 3 most common reasons why people cancel. Let's dig into that. Let's understand why people cancel. And then let's understand, once we know the why, then we can understand the how, which I'm going to get into by the end of this video. So if you plan on going and doing anything else, I would stick around or save this for later because it just might save you a couple $1,000s. So let's unpack why, and then I'll go through the 3-step process. So the 3 most common reasons why people cancel are change in their circumstances. So maybe they lost a job, they had to relocate, their husband or spouse is in the military, they're always moving around, maybe rent went up, taxes are due. Anything that changed their situation, typically financially, typically, not always, from the moment that they signed up to now, something has changed in their situation. The next most common is lack of results or belief in the program. So maybe, this is what I was referring to, maybe there was a miscommunication, and it's usually very early on, it's actually on the sales process. When you were bringing them in as a client, that's typically where most miscommunications are, because 2 reasons. I hope it's the first one and not the second one. The first one is that you're just covering so much information that maybe something got missed and there was a misunderstanding of timelines or what would be involved in the delivery for them, or something was just misunderstood in the verbiage where the client expected something else, expected a different type of delivery, or expected a different type of result. And now they're getting this and now they're not happy with it. So that's causing a lack of results or a lack of belief in you or the program, or maybe they felt like it was like a bait and switch. The other one, which I hope is not the case, is number 2, you were hungry for a sale and maybe you overpromised and, kick yourself too much, because this actually does happen a lot. Salespeople will overpromise and oversell to get the sale, to get them to sign on the dotted line. And then when it comes time to fulfillment, you've promised all and you're not doing it with malintention or, to screw anyone over. You're just doing it because you're excited. And maybe in the moment you're like, yeah, I can fulfill on that. Yeah, I can do these things. And then once you actually bring them in, what you've offered and promised, you forgot about. Maybe you didn't write it down, all the special things that they get. So you give them the standard coaching that you give everyone else. and you forgot about all the extra things that you promised. So maybe that's causing a miscommunication or a lack of belief in the program. Number 3 is a poor relationship or lack of attention from the coach. A poor relationship, again, I think is still like in essence a result of miscommunication most times. Maybe they just don't like you. Okay. And maybe you just don't like them and there's just a poor relationship there. It can happen, but it's less common. What's more common is they feel like they're not getting all the attention that they need or want, or they feel like they deserve. They feel like the program's not personalized enough for the amount that they're paying. So they get disgruntled. Or maybe they're not aware of their situation. And what I mean by that, maybe you sold them the program, the standard program. You didn't oversell them, overhype anything. You sold them, everything was casual. And then when they actually came in, there's a lack of education where now they need a reverse diet where previously they didn't know they needed one. So now the entire timeline has been stretched out much longer, but they feel like you're just doing it to keep them paying, or you're saying it to justify why they're not getting results or why they're a special snowflake and they're different from anyone else. That is the third most common reason. So it's a poor relationship, which can be caused by some of those other symptoms there. So 3 most common are typically financial, related to a change in their circumstances, lack of results or belief in the program, or a poor relationship or lack of attention from the coach. So of the 3, like I said, the most common, without any shadow of a doubt, is finances. Finances are people commit to things. They overcommit and they think, yeah, I can pay $400 a month for 12 months. And then they get 4 months in and they're like, oh my God, I didn't know daycare was so expensive, or gas prices are going up, or this or that or this. And they realize that they are strapped more financially than they were previously. The most common thing that we must do when we get any cancellation request, regardless of which 3 it is, we have to understand the why behind the request. And texting can be insanely difficult for this because there is no tone, there is no cadence, there is no conversation. More is lost in communication through text, email than anything else. What I recommend is, first and foremost, get them on a call. Do not do this over text or email. You don't want any further miscommunication or lack of understanding between you two. And it's just harder to objection handle through words, texted out words, as opposed to just having a conversation with, another human. So the 3 steps that I recommend to take are, again, step 1, book a time to talk as soon as humanly possible, whether it's on phone or Zoom, doesn't super matter. Obviously you'd prefer Zoom, but if they can get on a phone call now, but can't get on a Zoom call until like 3-4 hours from now or the next day, do the phone call, but get on as soon as possible and get on a conversation with them. Number 2, clarify. When you're on the call with them, you want to say something like, hey, listen, Sally, I know you were feeling a little bit concerned. I know some circumstances sounds like they've changed a little bit. So can I ask, like, what has changed as far as like your situation, just so I can understand and see if I can help. Dive into what's changed, what they're concerned with, what they're frustrated with, whatever it may be. Just dive into the why behind the request. Okay. And this is where you're going to do a lot of clarifying questions. Like, what was your biggest concern with that? How did that happen? When did you notice things shift? When did you, it's a lot of what, if, where, how, when, right? Get into the nitty gritty of why they're requesting the cancellation. So again, if they're concerned about finances, what changed since the original chat as far as finances go? If they're going into why they don't believe in the program or don't believe in you, you want to know exactly when that happened, why that happened, what caused that to happen. Or if they don't like you, or, they don't feel like they're getting the attention, then we want to understand exactly when they don't feel like they're getting it and kind of get an explanation from that as well. And then number 3, make it right. Sometimes we have to offer concessions. Like if you drop the ball and you legitimately, like it was your fault, which sometimes it is. And as business owners and decent people, we have to be able to admit that. So if you drop the ball, make concessions by maybe extending their program or offering a discount, or maybe just simply apologizing that you weren't living up to the expectations that you sold them on. That goes a long way. And sometimes a simple apology and owning up to it can prevent them from actually canceling. And then if you throw some concessions in like, hey, I'll work with you an extra 2 months for free, like that's a cheap way to keep the rest of the money that they owe, depending on how much time is left. The other aspect is, if they're not getting results, explain why. Why, from your professional opinion, you don't feel like they're getting results. So then create a timeline together of exactly what the next couple weeks or months look like to you, so that you guys can manage expectations together and you guys are both clear and on the same page and following the exact same outline of what their next couple of weeks or months look like with you, you may have to remotivate them and resell them by tapping back into the original emotions from the previous call. So it's good to check notes on their original sales call as far as like why they bought from you in the first place, because if they're really frustrated, we have to disarm them first in steps 1 and 2, and then we have to resell them on the concept of continuing to get help in step 3 here. And then, of course, the last one, if it is financial, you may have to give a discount. You may have to exchange, maybe you knock some money off the overall plan in exchange for a testimonial and 3 referrals. That's more than fair. I've done that plenty in C4F. If somebody owed a little bit of money and they absolutely couldn't pay, testimonial, 3, 5 referrals. We made more money from the referrals and the testimonial than we did from what they owed left on the program. Okay, so that has worked out really well for me and other fitness coaches as well. The other option is to downsell. So if you sold them on the highest plan, you may have to downsell them. You may have to, give them a bi-weekly or a nutrition-focused plan just to help ease the financial situation. You may have to shorten the program a little bit. If you have them for 12 months and they're dead broke and all they can do is one more payment, maybe you shorten it to 3 or 6 months or 4 months or 5 months or whatever, makes the most sense, but you may have to shorten it. You may have to extend payment plan. If they have 6 months remaining, maybe you extend it over 9 months to help get that monthly payment a little bit cheaper. Or maybe you look into Affirm or PayPal Credit or Klarna or anything like that to give them a financing option so that they can pay you off and then extend their payments through the financing lender over a longer period of time with minimal or no interest. So those are all the different ways that you can overcome a finance objection if somebody wants to cancel for that reason specifically. So guys, this was a short and sweet one. I hope this was helpful. If you haven't already, go smash that like and subscribe button. And if you want more help closing $3,000 to $8,000 deals consistently throughout the week, go ahead and DM me and I would be happy to have a conversation if you feel like we can help.